Hi, I'm Scott Westerfeld, the author of the audiobook Behemoth, and we're here to go behind the scenes with Alan Cumming, who's doing the reading right now. We're just going to interrupt him.
He doubted the Darwinists had shown him any natural secrets.
Hello, Alan. How are you?
I'm in the middle of recording, Scott.
I'm so sorry, but we have to do an interview now.
Okay.
All right. Shall we go out to the chairs where we will do the interview, Alan?
Sounds good to me.
Awesome. I'm Scott Westerfeld.
I'm Alan Cumming.
And we're here to talk about the audiobook of Behemoth.
I thought it was Behemoth.
No.
Behemoth. Behemoth.
People say Behemoth.
Yes,
in
that's like
England.
Beowulf, isn't it?
That's really Englishy.
Yeah.
Okay, this is the second audiobook of mine that you've recorded. The first one was Leviathan. What are the differences between Leviathan and Behemoth?
I think the biggest difference in terms of that an audience will notice is that in the Leviathan you're setting up this whole world, this whole kind of context, and there's lots of new, really new concepts to take on board. So in the second one, because that's all been set up and we understand the world now, it kind of plunges into the story and the drama.
Does that mean you're enjoying it more?
Well, no. I think in the first one, because it was such a weird world, you have this thing of discovery, for quite a long time, and then and now in this one, there's all these other, the characters and their kind of little idiosyncrasies. So yeah, I'm enjoying the sort of rollicking nature of this one.
Nene nodded slowly, her eyes sliding to one.
It's been funny for me, like doing some of the voices who appeared in the first book, and then thinking, oh, what did they sound like again? And then when they come back, they're like, oh, I remember them. And that's nice as well for a reader or a listener to kind of be reminded of these people that they got to know quite some time ago in some cases. But it's quite funny, like when you start to read them, obviously there's reasons why I chose certain voices for them, and it's in the writing, there's little nuances. And so like Dr. Barlow, for instance, I couldn't remember what she sounded like initially when I was reading this book, but very quickly she came back to me. I love Dr. Barlow.
Well, I mean, I love your Dr. Barlow as well as liking my Dr. Barlow too. But I think probably since I was in studio with you last time, I was like, well, now I know really what it is.
Right.
Because there's back and forth, and I hear your interpretation. I'm like, oh yeah, I'm really going to go to town.
Oh, that's nice. Oh, that's nice, Scott. Yeah, I like that. I'm influencing your.
Because I was writing a sort of fabulous, supercilious character, but when you hear it done by somebody, it becomes a whole new thing, and it's much more alive and fabulous.
That's good.
So when you read through a book, to create an audiobook, how much preparation are you actually doing?
I just read it, really, and then I kind of, especially now that I've already done most of the voices, most of the main characters, I just kind of, I don't know, it's like most kind of acting for me. I read it and then I just let it seep in, and then it all just comes out. It's not very scientific at all.
No, but it makes sense.
Yeah.
I mean, I think I'm doing the same thing when I write. I don't have like some sort of Freudian chart of what my characters are like. I just sort of to write them, and then as they say things and make choices and do things, they turn into more fully fleshed people.
Yeah, and they kind of take on a life of their own.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and then they start not cooperating in my case. And
yeah, I did.
Going off in the wrong direction and ignoring what the plot points are.
It's quite. I mean, I quite like making characters that you're just making up out of your mouth or your head, and you don't have to work with other people. You don't have to work with other annoying actors.
So if we were to switch roles for a day, what advice would you give me?
Write less Turkish words. Write less complicated names to say.
Yes, there's a lot of Turkish, but you're pretty good with the German, right? That's okay?
Not too bad with the German. I know a wee bit of German.
Well, that's why I thought you were such a great choice for this. When Simon & Schuster said, for the audiobook, we want to have Alan Cumming, I thought that is just perfect because you're Scottish.
Yes. Like
Darren, and you are famous for on
being German
on Broadway for being German, or even Austrian in this case, but
public never know.
Yes.
How far are you through the third novel?
I'm about 50,000 words in, which is more than half, but less than 2/3. So things are still building up and still getting more out of control. Usually this is like the hardest part of the book to write. because
everything's up in the air, you've got to bring it all down to a resolution.
Yeah, especially since it's book 3, it's got to really... I always say, like, you know, there's the part of the meal where you've eaten the most and your stomach feels the most uncomfortable before it starts to settle.
Yes.
I'm sort of at that point in the book. So I know how the series arcs end, but the parts of the book that are new to this book, you know, the little arcs are the ones I don't realize, that I don't understand yet. And that's something I've just sort of realized, is that there's little things I don't know how to wrap up.
Right.
Which in a funny way are more important than big things sometimes.
And will there be a happy ending, Scott?
Of course.
Good. Hooray.
One thing I've learned from doing audiobooks is there's a lot of words I don't have a real firm opinion on how to say.
Yes.
Like behemoth,
yes.
Behemoth.
Even either and either, you know, you can just go a bit nuts with it.
I know. And the funny thing is, something that happens is I think I know a scene, and I think I know, you know, what happened in that scene. But when you start saying things out loud, or you start drawing them, or you make a film of them, once you move from one medium to another, it becomes a different scene.
But it's quite nice in a way, isn't it, that you write this thing and you put it out into the world, and then it's sort of it's kind of open to interpretation, open to people's imagination. It's quite a nice thing to, like a little gift you give, and other people can put their views and opinions on it.
Well, thank you very much.
Oh, thank you. That was nice.
It's a pleasure to talk to you.
It's lovely. It's always lovely to see the face behind the computer.
And the face behind the CD.
Because you never get to see that, do you? Often. I don't think I've ever met a writer that I've read an audiobook of.
Really?
No, that's not true. But I should get back to work.